Hi everybody, I'm back with another video about Girl Meets World. The premiere date for the show is coming up very quickly, June 27th. And about a month ago, on May 21st, Disney put an episode on their app, Watch Disney Channel, which would allow viewers to get a preview of what the show is going to be like. And I got around to watching it a couple weeks ago. I finally decided to get this up here before the premiere date next week, so you guys can have an idea of what to expect when the show starts next week. I made a video over a year ago, back when it was first just announced, and a lot of things have changed since then. So if you want to go back and watch that, feel free to go check out my other video and see the differences between what they had announced then and what's coming up now. In this video, I'm going to talk about the good, I'm going to talk about the bad, some things I liked, some things that need improvement, some things I look forward to, and everything in between. There will be some spoilers in this video, so if you want to watch this video without getting any spoilers, I'll put one of those linky boxy things in here for you to click on so you can skip the spoiler section. So you can skip the spoiler section. So you can still watch the video and get a feel about what the show is going to be like without getting spoiled on anything in case you don't want to. Okay, here's the good. Rowan Blanchard, who plays Riley Matthews, Cory and Topanga's daughter, does a pretty good job of convincing me that Riley is in fact Cory and Topanga's daughter. Riley has a few traits that are similar with Topanga, such as always, doing the homework, being responsible in school, that kind of thing. She also has a lot of similarities with Cory. Particularly what I noticed was the facial expressions and the personality mostly. They're a lot similar to Cory in the early seasons of the show. Sabrina Carpenter and Peyton Meyer, who play Maya and Tristan, respectively, also do a pretty good acting job as well. Ben Savage and Daniel Fishel also do a good job reprising their roles as well. Another positive thing about the show is that Cory and Topanga actually stay really true to their characters from Boy Meets World. You can tell that they've grown up a lot, they've changed, but at the same time you can still see their old personalities reflected in their character. You don't get to see Topanga much in this first episode, but enough for you to see it's still the Topanga we knew before. Cory's in it a lot, and it's Cory really. It's basically the same, which I think is pretty awesome. Okay. And now the bad. There's a lot more bad than there was good. Okay, one thing that I didn't really like was there's way too much emphasis on the whole world aspect. Cory kept saying, this is my world, not your world. Make it your world. I mean, we get it, okay? Ben Savage had his own show, Boy Meets World, where he grew up, he met the world. Now it's Rowan's turn to have her own show as Riley. She grows up, meets the world. The show is called Girl Meets World. The show was called Boy Meets World. We get it. Drop it, will ya? I'm really hoping it's just there for the pilot and it's not going to come back every single episode because that's going to get super annoying. Hey, the resident class nerd is Farkle. Way back when they first announced it, his name was Seamus Farkle. But since then they've changed it around, so now it's Farkle Minkus, who just happens to be the son of our old friend Stuart Minkus. For some reason he talks about himself in the third person. I don't know why that gets really annoying. You can tell he's supposed to be really funny every scene he's in. However, half the time it's just like hit and miss. Like sometimes I go, hey, I like that joke. Other times I'm just like, shut up, Farkle. Shut up, Farkle. And what kind of a name is Farkle anyway? Why would you name your kid Farkle? That's the character of Tristan, I feel, is pretty dull. He doesn't really have much of a personality to show. I don't know if that's just because this is a pilot episode, they haven't really expanded on the character. I'm hoping they do, give him more of a personality. Right now he seems kind of bland. Okay, so I'm about to do the spoiler section, so if you want to skip ahead to the end and see my recap, just click here and you'll jump to the end. If you don't care, just keep watching. Just keep going. So I'm watching it, and the two characters are in the subway, talking to the subway people, getting on. And then I noticed something in the background, and I'm just like, hold on, what? Wait a minute, what's this? It's a poster that says it's cool to stay in school, and there's a picture of Mr. Feeney. I was just like, wait, what? But why is there a picture of Mr. Feeney in New York when he was a teacher in Philadelphia his entire life? You know what, at the end of Boy Meets World, when Cory was like, hey, are you gonna follow us to New York? Are you gonna sneak up on us in Central Park? And Mr. Feeney was like, no, Mr. Matthews, I'm not. I don't know why I did a British accent. I'm Eric right now. And then he said he wasn't gonna show up. You know what, maybe he did, and that's why there's a poster of Feeney in New York, huh? Either way, I think it's a great nod. that we get to see Feeny, even if Feeny's not in the show. And what I think would be awesome is if in every episode we see just like something in the background. You're not paying any attention, just kind of like a spot the thing. And it's going to be like a little Feeny thing in the background, just something Feeny. Or any character from the show, but either any character and it's always different every episode, or it's always just like a Feeny thing somewhere. Find the Feeny. Find the Feeny. It's like, where's Waldo? Find the Feeny. Throughout the episode, Riley's trying to be a lot more like Maya because she thinks she's way cooler, she wants to be more like her. You know, the typical teenager popularity thing. However, it gets to this point where Maya decides she doesn't want to do the homework anymore. So she does like a homework strike or something. So she gets up and she's all like, you know, no homework, more freedom. And Riley gets up too, and Corey, who's the teacher, is just like, what you doing? And she's like, oh, she said, I'm trying to find who I am. And Corey said, you know who you are. You're like me. And she goes, well, would you do this? No, homework, more freedom. And she just marches off out of the thing. And I'm thinking, actually, Corey did do something like that. Very, very similar. It was in, what, season 2 or something, where Corey led a strike from Mr. Turner's class. And Sean followed suit, as well as the majority of the grade, you know. Look for the union label. Is anybody behind you, my Sean?
You have 5 seconds. 4, 3.
Wait a minute, everybody. He can't punish the 7th grade class if there is no 7th grade class. We're a union, remember? And I say starting right here, right now, our union is on strike. Let's go, everyone. We're walking out of school. Look for the union label. Is anybody behind you, my Sean?
I gotta tell you, there's no one with us. We're all alone here. I'm gonna bail.
You better not.
Yes, I am.
Oh, no, no, no.
Yes, yes, yes,
No,
yes.
no, no.
Yes, 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 yes.
So I thought it was a good nod to her being a lot like Corey from the old one, since they did very similar things. Another thing to show what Corey said was true, and that she is a lot like him. My favorite line in the whole episode. Riley and Corey come back home. They see Topanga, and Riley's like, you know, Dad's trying to, you know, make me not be like Maya, and Corey says, Riley walked out of my class, and you know, they have a big little disagreement, the kid with the parents, and she walks away, and then Topanga goes, oh, let's get married, let's have kids, let's have another kid. And then Corey goes, well, you listen to me, you big stupid. I thought that was the best line. You big stupid. It really reflects Corey's personality, because he would say things a lot like that, not that exactly, but a lot like that in Boy Meets World. So I think it's funny that he's keeping his quirky personality. And for some reason, I think it's funny because I'm a lot like Corey. So this scene where Maya's trying to prove her point, she's not going to do any homework. So she takes some sparklers and is about to light the homework on fire, and the sprinkler system goes off and everybody gets all wet and they run out of the room. And then Tristan walks up to Riley and says, you're better than that, why didn't you stop her? Except that Tristan only moved to the neighborhood or the school or whatever in the last like 2 days. Like he showed up 2 days ago in this school. That was the first time she met her. How does he know she is better than that? You've met her 2 days ago, you barely talked to her. You can't just be like, hey, we had 2 conversations. You're better than this. You shouldn't let your friend be setting sprinklers off. Like, is there more of a time gap here or something that I don't know about? Because there's some... Are we going to experience a lot of Boy Meets World continuity problems again? But point being, how do you know what kind of a person she is if you just met her? You don't. You can't. Why would you say that? I understand this, trying to get the point across to the viewers, the kids, that Riley's a good person, she's not going to do it, but couldn't you have, I don't know, Farkle say it? Farkle apparently has known her since the 1st grade, since he's in love with both of the girls, apparently. There's a scene where Riley and Maya were sitting in the cafeteria, and Tristan joins them. And he goes, oh, is it okay if I sit here? And then she goes, which immediately reminded me of the first episode of the 3rd season of Boy Meets World, when Corey was trying to ask out Topanga, but he was doing an awful job.
Topanga. Thanks for this. I saluted.
We all saw. Cor, you're making too big a deal out of this. Just act natural.
You're right. So, Topanga, Friday night, what's going on?
I don't know.
Neither do I. Okay, then. Sean, I did this.
Right there, I was like, gives him the thumbs up. I was like, right there, right there. That was awesome. I thought it was fantastic. But by far, the best moment in this entire episode is at the very end, during the credits scene. So at the end, Corey decides we're gonna give Subway Pass to Riley so she can use it whenever, because she is responsible. And so she gets on the subway, whatever. When she gets off, you know, Corey and Topanga are waiting for her. He says something to her. Then he turns around and looks at the poster of Mr. Feeney. And there's Mr. Feeney standing there. Well done, Mr. Matthews. Then we cut back to Corey smiling at Mr. Feeney. And then we cut back to the poster and Feeney's not there. So I don't know if this is like a imaginary Feeney. Corey looks at a picture of Feeney and goes, I bet Feeney would say this to me. Well done, Mr. Matthews. So overall, the episode was alright. You know, the theme delivered the usual, you know, be good, be responsible, stand by your friends, listen to your parents, they give good advice, that sort of thing. We got to see some interesting potential for the characters. I hope we get to see a lot more. I really hope we get to see some cameos from a lot of characters. Feeney, Sean, Eric. If you've been reading online, you'll know that there's going to be a Thanksgiving episode where we get to see not only Corey's parents return, but Sean as well. So that'll be cool. I hope we get to see more of everyone from Boy Meets World. Some characters need some improvement. It's got a few funny moments. I really think the kids will learn something from it. They'll enjoy it. For those of you who saw the episode online, feel free to add more to this. If there was something you liked I didn't talk about, throw it down. What you think needs improvements. If you don't like it, tell us why. For those of you who haven't seen it, it will be on Disney Channel next week, Friday, June 27th. So check it out. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again.
Sean, I did this.